Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tactical and other cool stuff. I know it's been a while. Haven't had a whole lot of stuff to do videos on. Still waiting on some ideas so we can get back out to the range. But I do have something I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. I know we're all thinking about it, or we certainly should be. I'm not one to use this channel and get into politics, but I think we can all realize that this country is going south, and we're going to have some issues. We're seeing issues already at the grocery stores. You're seeing issues at the ammo counter. Things are getting bad, and I definitely believe they're going to get worse. Now, for years, I've been setting some ammo back every once in a while, stockpiling, rat holing, whatever you want to call it, just setting some ammo aside over the years. And I figured that if things got bad, man, I'm good, right? And I also had the saying that he who controls the guns and ammo controls the food. Well, I mean, that works to a degree. If you end up being like, who was it, Negan on The Walking Dead, when things get bad, if that's the kind of person you are, then maybe you can be that guy that says, hey, as long as I control the guns and ammo, I control the food. But that's not me, okay? What I want to talk to you guys today is I've gotten a real good wake-up call that there's a whole lot more to prepping than, guns and ammo, okay? And that's what we're going to get into. For me, life's pretty simple. I'm a black and white kind of guy. Everything boils down to, are you pregnant? The answer is yes, or the answer is no. Either you're ready for what's probably going to happen, or you're not. If you're in the not side, where most of us are hanging out, then we need to get to the ready side. What I want to do today, we just touch on a couple things up here on the board that we maybe not think about. And I hope you guys can see the board. Obviously, right there is some glare from an overhead light that I have. I haven't figured out what to do about that yet. But the dry erase board is kind of handy. I have come to realize that I am suffering on the logistics and communications side of things as far as prepping go. And not suffering, I mean, it's not like I'm sitting on zero. The wife and I have been working pretty hard trying to get some self-sustainment going. But my military experience was always in operations. Planning, conducting, that was that. And I really took for granted, and I got a dehumidifier over here that's making noise. I was about to go turn it off. Operations guy. So I really took for granted that there was always going to be a water bowl there where I could fill my canteens or my Camelback. I always took for granted that if my night vision goggles broke, that the armory could replace them or exchange them or fix them. I always took for granted that there was going to be cans of ammunition to replace what had been shot. Well, I've come to realize that the logistics piece is at least as important as the operations piece. So, shout out to logistics guys, like my good buddy Dave down there in North Kakalaki. You looking good, brother. Logistics guy, all right? They drive the bus. You need to understand that. This whole video is coming out from a conversation I had with Uncle Dan out in the Great State. Shout out to Uncle Dan. You looking good too, brother. But what I want to talk about today is logistics. I'm going to zoom this in and hopefully you guys can see. And what we want to do is take a look at where we're at and where we need to go. Now, right here, I have what's called the beams, the bullets, the bandages, and communication. Communication you can't see. So let me zoom you back out a little bit. Alright, maybe you can see the word communication down there. Over here I have maybe, and over here is definite. We got two columns there. Now, as far as logistics go, let me get back over here. For me, it's all about the three B's: beams, bullets, and bandages. Okay, let's start out with the easy one, which is bullets. Alright, you gotta ask yourself, hey, am I a maybe or I'm a definite? I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna hit definite, okay? I don't know what everybody's got sitting around. I know I'm a small fish compared to some of the big fish. as far as what's sitting in basements and shop buildings and things of that nature. But I am comfortable with the fact that if I expend all the ammunition that I have on hand, I will either be dead before I do, or if I do expend all of it, there's going to be plenty more of it to pick up in the front yard. Okay? So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a definite up here on the bullets. The beans. Beans, I'm a maybe. And I don't know if anybody out there, unless you do have a crystal ball to predict the future completely, is ever going to be a definite. Okay? I think on the food, I think that you need to have some canned goods, dry goods, and you also have to have a way of replenishing things. In a nutshell, there should be enough stuff in your basement to feed you and your family, and that's probably going to be an extended family, until you can get the seeds in the ground, get it grown, and get it harvested. That's the replenishment. So if you're lacking in that area, think that one through. Got to have food. Going back, another Walking Dead reference. I think Carl was talking to, or Rick. Rick was the main guy, and he was talking to the black guy. What was his name? Somebody put in the comments down there what the name of the black guy was in The Walking Dead. I can't remember. Well, they were talking, and the black guy looked at Rick and said, you know, it always came down to food. It wasn't guns and ammo. It came down to food. Food is what's going to drive the bus here. All right, so you got to get ready. Canned goods, long-term storage goods, your grains, your rices, your flours, bulk storage, stuff of that nature. And you probably ought to have some seeds so that when it starts, as soon as you can, you get a garden in the ground so you can start replenishing food. Also, up under the beans, we're going to have water. Do you have a way to get water that you can drink? Now, that can be through rain collection. That could be through a spring in your yard or on your property. That could be a creek that runs through your property, just whatever. Some way to collect water and purify it so that you can drink it. I'm here to tell you, if you get sick from drinking bad water, that's just a horrible ordeal. Anybody that's military has had, from bad water. Anyway, but the beans part, food and water. Make sure that you're over here in the definite category and not over here in the maybe. Next, we're going to get down to bandages. And the 3 B's here, that's something the Marine Corps taught me years ago, the 3 B's of logistics. I'm not a really smart guy, so I didn't come up with this. Throw a disclaimer out there to the Corps. Bandages, what do I do to take care of medical issues? Okay, I have stuff for serious trauma. You have stuff for boo-boos. You know, I cut myself with a razor shaving, or I cut my finger with the knife and I just threw my dry erase marker on the ground. Whatever that is, okay, you gotta have some trauma gear, and you better have your little boo-boo gear, and you also better have some medications. Retrieve it. As far as the medications go, we're talking about anti-inflammatory drugs. We're talking about stuff to fight infections, you know, the common stuff. Your anti-diarrheals, your Excedrins, your Motrins, your whatever that thing is that starts with a B for Benadryl. You know, stuff like that. Look at what your family needs, identify those, and start stockpiling those. Get some training on how to use some of the trauma gear. The more you know how to use, the more you can add to your stockpile. Because whether it's guns, optics, medical gear, or whatever, gear will never trump training. Okay? You can have the most high-speed ninja gear in the world if you don't know how to use it, and it ain't good to you. Okay? So get the training. On the medical stuff, the bandages, I'm still a maybe. I still got some work to do. I need to work more on anti-infection drugs and just over-the-counter stuff. Okay, I think I'm good as far as trauma goes. You know, I got lots of tourniquets, lots of pressure dressings, you know, lots of chest seals, things like that. But I do need to work more on the just I'm sick medicine. Okay, and if Walking Dead, remember when they were in prison, everybody got sick, people started dying off. What happened when you died? You what do they call that? Anyhow, you turn into zombies. You don't want any zombies. Last on the list is communications. Right now on communications, I am a maybe, but I am going to be a definitely inside of the next 30 days. And communications is where I want to spend a little time talking. I'm going to reach up here and wipe this board off that you probably can't see anyway. So I can write something else up here that you probably can't see. All right, we talk about communications. I think there's 3 areas that we need to worry about. The Marine Corps says you need to have the ability, the acronym is HAS, H-A-S, talk to your higher, your adjacent, and your subordinate units. Okay? Higher, adjacent, subordinate. A lot of you guys out there, the 7 people in the country that actually watch my video, you may belong to associations or groups. And they may be a statewide group, maybe a national organization or whatever. Here is my comm plan, all right? That's me, this circle right here. I really hope you guys can see it. I'm not wasting my time there. I need to be able to talk to the people that are right here with me. You know, my family, my friends, or whoever that if situation dictates, they decide they're coming here. That's what I call internal communications. All right, internal. How are we going to talk internally amongst ourselves? That is as simple as running down to Walmart and getting some of those little blister pack radios that we all have, or that we've all played with. Some guys take them hunting with them, whatever. Those radios, real short range, and they'll take care of if I want to talk internally to what I consider to be my compound, which is where I live and where I have my stuff. All right. With those, like I said, it's just those little Motorola walkabouts. That's what I was trying to think of a second ago. A radio, something like that. Okay. Along with these radios we're talking about goes the batteries to support them. Because once a radio battery gets dead, you don't really even have a good rock to throw. That radio is not good for much. The next thing I want to be able to do is I want to expand my circle of communications to include what I call my area of operations, anywhere that I think I'm going to go. So, let's make that circle a little bigger. Now, my area of operations, I can assure you, I cannot cover with a Motorola radio. A little handheld walkabout, stuff like that. Most of those radios either run on something called FRS, almost exclusively all on FRS, which is the Family Radio Service. Real low output radios, they're not going to talk as far as I need to talk. Having said that, if I want to talk throughout my AO, then I need to get ready to start talking either VHF or UHF, and that's going to be through what everybody wants to call ham radios. So I have VHF and UHF that I have man pack radios, and I have a base station here at the house that I can talk, you know, anywhere in my area of operation. One last consideration is if we belong to a bigger organization. Let's say that we are part of a great big organization. I probably can't hit that with VHF and UHF. Now, UHF and VHF are both line of sight radios. So the way they describe them is if the antennas can see each other, they can talk. If they can't, comm starts to get spotty. if I want to make these long chops, say for example, if I want to talk all the way across the state of Texas, if I want to hit up Uncle Dan out there in Texas, if I want to hit up Buddy Dave down there in Jayville, North Carolina, then I'm probably going to have some kind of an HF radio. Now you can get away with some VHF stuff, the GMRS radio frequencies. You can get away with that stuff and talk to your area of operation. But if you want to start talking that far, you're going to have to talk in HF. And when you start talking HF, then here comes some ham certifications. Now, I am not a ham radio operator, all right? I hope to be Saturday afternoon. I go take my tech test and get my technician's license. That'll open up a little bit of, a little HF privileges for me. And that'll give me all the VHF and UHF. But instead of focusing on these UHF, VHF, GMRS, FRS, all the stuff I'm throwing at you, let's focus on, do you have a comm plan? All right. If not, figure it out. Considerations: be able to talk in your little home area, all right, your compound, so to speak, what I call my internal comms. Be able to talk throughout your area of operations and have a plan so that you can talk long distance. Let me take the finger this way, long distance. That way you can get out to a higher headquarters, for example, or maybe if you belong to a state or national level association, you can talk to those. This video has already went longer than what I wanted to do. I think I'm up to 17 minutes. But I just wanted you guys to think about things. It's not just guns and ammo. Logistics, beans, bulls, and bandages. It's not just food for 30 days. It's a sustainable food source. It's water that you can sustain. Bandages. What kind of medical stuff do I have and what do I need? I got to be able to handle trauma. I got to be able to handle I'm sick. And I got to be able to handle just whatever comes down the pike. The more training you have, the more stuff you can handle in every situation. All right. And lastly is communications. All right, networking. You have to be able to talk to people. So anyway, I hope you kind of like this vehicle. I hope you kind of liked my video. If you did, hit the like button. Everybody's real stingy about likes. I don't know what it takes to get likes. Let me know if you can see this junk behind me with that glare up there on the light. Like I said, I've tried moving it a couple times, and no matter what I do, I get a little something off the dry erase board. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. We'll get back out to the range sometime. Somebody throw me some comments down there. Tell me what you want to see on the range, what you want to do, what you want to work on. As you figured it out, my latest kick is communications. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on more than just going to the range. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Shoot safe, shoot straight, and train often. Bye.